Hello everybody, and thanks for joining us on today's Phone.com webinar. Today we'll be talking about how to place and receive calls from your Mac or PC computer. My name is Derek Artes, and I will be your presenter today, currently a customer service representative at Phone.com. And just a couple quick things before we get started. If you have any questions, please feel free to enter them in the GoToWebinar Questions tab. And we're going to hold all of those until the end, and we can have a nice Q&A to wrap things up if there's anything more you want to know. As far as the challenge level today, this is definitely suitable for beginners, so I'm hoping everybody attending gets some use out of it. All right, let's jump on in. So you might be wondering how you make calls from your computer, and we offer our Communicator software, and this is a softphone application that you install on your Mac or PC. Basically turns your computer, which is already a great multitasking device, into a phone as well. Makes it even more efficient. With our Communicator software, you can place and receive calls from your computer. You can access inbox messages, such as voicemail and text messages. You can send SMS text messages. And you can also manage your address book contacts. So it has a lot of great features that I'm excited to show you going forward here. So just before you even begin the process, just to be aware of a few system requirements. First is you need a Communicator extension on your Phone.com account, which will give you a unique username and password to use, and also a download link to install the program. Next, I also highly recommend a USB headset for good audio quality. Also, another thing is to make sure that you meet the minimum system requirements, which I will show you right now, and just go over those very briefly. So just to highlight a few things, if you're still on Windows XP, there is a root certificate that you definitely need to install, otherwise this won't work. You can certainly take a look at this page. It goes over your processor, your memory needs, operating system, but it is designed to work on both Mac and PC in ideal conditions. So let's move on over to how you start up Communicator for the first time if you don't have it added to your account. It's a three-step process that's very simple. The first is to add a Communicator extension to your account. The second is to get your username and password for Communicator. And then the third is to download and install the software. So let's show you now how to get that set up within your account. So if you're just logged in, probably be on this page, and the first thing we need to do is add a Communicator extension. To do this, we'll go to Configure at the top of our page, and we'll select Add a User Extension. On the extension listing, you'll choose Communicator, and this will also show you the requirements as a reference before you move forward. By checking the box, you agree to the licensing system, which means that the computer you install Communicator on is what it's tied to through a license. If you ever need to switch computers, you'll need to contact us, and it's limited to one computer per license. So as a hypothetical, if you need two computers running it at the same time, you'll need two separate extensions, which each cost their own amount. So we'll just check that box. You can upgrade to unlimited minutes here if you want. We'll skip that for this, and we'll select Add Communicator. And once that finishes loading, we'll check out on this screen really quick. And now we need to go to our extension listing page. So we'll go to Configure, and we'll go to Manage Users and Extensions. And you'll see here we have extension 504, which is the new extension we just added. So what we need now is the username and password for a Communicator. And I would just like to reiterate, this is completely separate from your username and password to log into your Phone.com account. Completely different, looks totally different, so don't try using your Phone.com login. So we'll select Edit next to extension 504. And what we have here is your username and password. And this is also available if you select View Login Info. Definitely copy and paste this. You cannot change the username or password. There is a remember login information button on Communicator, so you do not have to type this every time. Definitely select that, as it's a lot easier. And the third step was to download Communicator and install it. So as you can see here, we have a download Communicator link. Click that. That will take you to the download page. You can select it for Windows or Macintosh. I won't show the install process, but it's fairly simple for both. And once you have that installed, start it up and we can then move on to the features available. So placing and receiving calls. For placing a call, there's a few options. You can do an audio call, you can do a video call, and you can also do a conference call. Let me show you those three. So I'm on a Mac, obviously. The interface is pretty much similar to Windows, so if any Windows people are out there, this should be a pretty seamless transition from what I'm showing you here. So here's the Communicator interface. To place a call, you can either type up the digits up here, or you can use the keypad down here. If you push call, that's going to do a standard audio call. If you select the down arrow, you can choose between audio call, video call, and start conference call. Works just like a phone. It dials the number. You can hear them. They can hear you through your headset and everything. So it's very basic. While we're here, this button will turn on your speakerphone. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. And this button will turn on your webcam as well for video calls. Alright, so that was placing a call. And let's now move on to receiving calls. So in order to receive calls on your computer, what you need to do is configure your call handling rules on your phone.com account, and you need to forward your phone.com number to your Communicator extension, which I will show you right now. So to do this, we need to get to our phone number settings. So we'll go to Configure at the top of our account, and we'll select Manage Numbers. On the Manage Numbers page, we'll select Edit next to the number we want to forward to our Communicator, and we'll say we have an 800 number for our business. We want to take calls on our Mac or PC for. And on Number Action, you'll select Edit. This gets you to the Call Handling Rules page. I know this setup might differ a little bit depending on your unique needs. You might be forwarding to a menu or something. I'm just going to do a very basic, bare bones setup of forwarding directly to the computer. So for this, you'll change Select Operation to Forward Call. And then you'll choose your extension in the listing here. And I'm signed in as extension 503, so I'll choose that one here. I'll ring myself for 20 seconds, and if I don't answer, then I would like a voicemail left on the phone.com account. So I'll select Add Next Action. I'll change Select Operation to Leave Voicemail. And I'll choose my voicemail here. And just very simple flow, but just to give you an idea, it's sequential from A to B. So it'll forward call to 503 for 20 seconds. And if I don't pick up, then it'll do a Leave Voicemail on my extension inbox. And we'll save rule settings to get that finalized. So let me call myself so you can see how it looks when you get a phone call on Communicator. Get my phone here. Okay. So let me switch over here, and the call should be coming in right now. Okay, so there it is. So you can answer the call, you can do a video call, and you can also forward the call or hang up for the several options you have. And let's end that call. All right, moving on. Next up, we have SMS and voicemail. As far as sending text messages, you have two options. You can send a text message to an address book contact within Communicator, or you can reply to a text message that somebody has already sent you. Just to clarify, you can't, at this time from the program, send an SMS to a random number. They have to be in your address book before you can send that. So let me show that. So I sent myself a text message earlier. You can see right here. If you select the icon, there is then an send SMS button. You can click that and it gives you the message dialog box and you can send SMS. And this was from the messages tab. And what this is doing is this is pulling your messages that are left on your phone.com extension and it populates directly on the software, which is really cool. So the second option I spoke about was sending an SMS to an address book contact. If you select the address book contact here, you can then select a contact and there's an SMS button that you can select. And that will take you to the exact same screen that you saw before. Alright. So moving on to voicemail. Two options for checking your voicemail. You can either listen to your voicemails directly on the messages tab, or you can call into your voicemail line using *8686. And there's also a button on the software that I'll show you for how to do this. So back again to the messages tab, I also left myself a test voicemail. If you select it, you can select play message and it will play it directly from here. If you want to hear your voicemail through audio, the second option, as I talked about, was to select the voicemail button up here and that will automatically call *8686 for you and you just enter your voicemail password to access that. Alright, so moving on over to managing your contacts. And there's two types of contacts on Communicator. There's the phone.com address book contacts and then internal communicator contacts. So just to differentiate them, the phone.com address book is from contacts that you add in your extensions address book, and these are going to automatically populate within the address book tab on Communicator. And to clarify, this is the only contact type that you can send a text message to. If you add a communicator contact, then all you can do is call those numbers. So I would recommend just sticking with the address book contacts for simplicity. But just to give you another option, contacts stored on the contacts tab are stored within the Communicator software only, and this will not have any impact on your phone.com account. And again, you can only call these numbers, not send text messages. So just to show you the differentiation, we have the address book tab up here. And like I selected before, you can do an SMS where you can call that number directly. And then if I turn on the contacts tab just to show you what it looks like. Oh, hang on, wrong button. Contacts, same thing, John Smith. But of course you can only call him directly. You can add contacts with the plus button and add them in there. As far as adding contacts on your phone.com address book, I will also show you that briefly. So to get to our address book, we'll go to Configure and we'll select Manage Users and Extensions. And next to each extension, there's this little icon with 3 colored tabs. If you select that, that'll take you to your address book and you can add a contact here. And as you can see, I have John Smith listed and his cell phone number, and that directly mimics the address book listed here for John Smith. So it'll auto-populate anytime you add a contact. Alright, moving on to settings and troubleshooting. Just to give you guys some common setting sections that you might want to modify if you run into any problems. There's the alert section, and this will allow you to disable or enable ringtones and sound notifications if you don't want your ringer on for any reason. There's also the devices tab. I get a lot of people that maybe they can't hear through their headset and they don't quite know why. This might be because your headset isn't toggled as the input device on your computer, or sometimes they can't hear through their headset, but again, their headset isn't set as the output device. So certainly check these out to make sure they are. And let me show you how to access these. On Windows, there's a Communicator header up here, and if you click that, you select Preferences. On the Mac, it's Communicator at the very top, and then Preferences. So we have alerts here. You can disable alert notifications. You can enable or disable sounds for incoming calls, for call waiting, for auto answer and hang up. And I believe you can you can also set a custom audio file if you desire for that. Moving on over to the Devices tab, we have Headset mode, and you can choose your default audio device for microphone and speaker. Also Speakerphone mode, you can set the default audio devices. And lastly, you can also choose the device that Communicator will ring on when you have a call coming in. This is also a really handy tool to test your devices just before you do anything else to make sure everything's in working order. I won't cover the rest of these as this gets fairly technical. I really wouldn't advise messing around with these unless you're running into issues and we advise you to change anything. One more thing to show you, you can change the views on your Communicator tabs by going to View, and then for example we can hide the Messages tab, we can hide the Contacts tab if we just want to see our address book, and then you can show them as you desire. So it's very flexible and exactly showing what you need. And call logs, of course, are pulled directly from your account, which is handy too. Alright, so if you're still having trouble, certainly reach out to our support team. I think that's the best way to get some assistance with the program. We might need to make some adjustments to your network or computer, and we can certainly guide you through that and get the program working if you're having any issues. Always the first step, we recommend both checking that you meet the system requirements and also to reboot your computer as a first initial setup, as that seems to fix a lot of things. So that was all I had for today. Hope you guys enjoyed learning about our Communicator software and how to place and receive calls from your computer. Certainly happy to answer any questions that you have. I can show you anything in more detail if you desire. If you don't get your question answered today, please reach out to our support team. We have 24/7 phone support, email and chat support, and we also have our Twitter and Facebook team standing by for you guys. Thanks so much for joining. Have a great day.